Alright, so I'm getting a painting ready. I'm getting this board ready for painting. So I'm going to do this impossible triangle. And it's smaller though than I want it to be. So I sketched it first, I added all the shading. It's smaller than I want it to be because I wanted to fill this here. So I think I will redraw it and then I'll use this to refer for painting. So I've got this piece of mat board, black on this side, but I'm going to use the lighter side. And I'm going to start my drawing. I'm going to make this, now it needs to be wider than, like I'm going to use this inch. Maybe I'll make it even wider than that. That would be more fun, I think. Yeah. Alright, so I'll start with this. Make it this. Yeah. And I'll go like that. One. And like that. Okay, cool. So that's the top corner. Top corner. So, splitting it in half here. And corner to corner here on this edge. And erase. Okay, so here's my inside. This part's going to be an L. This is where the L goes, right here. So I'm going to erase this. And this gets erased. So it looks 3D. Alright, cool. Now I'll do the same thing over here. So let's see. Let me just that. Make a little, tiny little triangle in the middle. And okay. So I've got, this is the corner here, the diamond. Alright, so inside corner goes to the center, so this part's the L right here. And erase this. So I guess I always erase the flat side. That could be a way of telling. So let's see if that works. Erase this. And then, so this part, out of these two sections, this is going to get erased. And this, and this. Alright. I feel like that makes more sense. Okay. So now I have to decide colors. It's getting a big mess over here. Whew. Okay. So I need to mix up some colors to do this painting. So I'm going to start with, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start with just plain color. And then I'll mix the color because I want to cover the background. So I'm using a 1/2 inch. It's a 1/2 inch, so if I measure this here, it's a 1/2 inch. And I'm going to start with magenta. So all I really want to do is just cover the background. So I'm just going to start with just pure color, and then when it comes time to work on, you know, the light and dark, because I got to do lights and darks in the background, I will mix this into a color, something that has magenta in it. So I'll either add blue or yellow. And I'm just going to do the whole background first. So I'm practicing doing a hard edge. And what's really important too about this brush is that you're not getting paint into the metal part like I did right there. So don't do what I just did. Because if you get it in there, it's going to ruin the brush. Like the paint gets dried inside the metal part. It's called the ferrule. And it ruins the brush. The brush starts to turn solid and it loses its brush-like qualities. It stops being bouncy and soft like it is right now. But the flat brush is really good for getting a nice clean edge like this. And that is what we are practicing with this painting. When I go to paint this, a little harder to get in there. But we're painting the background first to make it easier. We're going to go back and forth between background and our form. Because we have to have layers. We need to have this done in layers so that we get nice, like nicely covered, thick paint and lots of values, light to dark, because that's what's going to make it look really dimensional, really 3D. And I'm going to go all the way to the edges. And I'm going to do the same thing for the triangle itself. But I don't want to cover over my lines that I've drawn there, so because otherwise I'll get confused about what's going on there. So I think I'm going to start that. I'll paint that with a yellow. And that way it'll have a coat of paint on it, but it won't cover up. It won't cover up the color, the lines that I have already. Okay, and then I gotta get this brush in the water. I got everything pretty well covered. Cool. Alright, so I'm going to stop that there, and I'll go and do the shape.